How about a unique way to display your business cards? Don't have any business cards? Maybe you know somebody who does and you want to give them a cool gift? What's up, y'all? My name is Andy. This is Epeiuscustoms Garage, and today I'm going to show you how to make these cool business card holders out of simple oak and empty bullet shell casings. Keyword there is empty bullet shell casings. You don't want to go using live ammo on this, okay? These make for great gifts, and they also sell pretty good at the markets and on Etsy. Just please remember to like and subscribe, and if you would like to get notifications on future videos just like this one today, then remember to ring that bell. All the tools and gadgets you see me using in the video, I'm going to link in the description. If you like any of those, you decide to buy them, please use that link. It helps me out at no extra cost to you. Don't forget to comment. I want to hear your feedback, and I hope you enjoy the video.
We're going to start this out by cutting a piece of oak. I use red oak from the box store, and I cut it to 4 1/4 inch long. From there, I'm just going to take my square and start dividing it up into even segments and scribing those lines across. And then this will give you even spacing. You can choose which ones you want to use for your hole placement on your bullet shell casings. Once I get my even segments, I'm going to go ahead and decide on the top row and the bottom row. This will be your 223 shells on the top row and your 40 caliber shells on the bottom row. And in this case, I did a little over a 1/2 inch, maybe 9/16, but if you're gonna put a profile around the edge, keep that in mind because you don't want that to go into the holes you drill.
Now that I have my holes laid out, I'm gonna take it over to my drill press. And with the drill press, you can make real repeated cuts. You don't have to lay it out on every single one of these pieces. This can be kind of like your template, your first one. And then you can just cut the rest to this. I'll show you. Time to set up my drill press. For the back holes of the 223 shells, I've already figured it out. It's 23 64ths drill bit. That'll get you the tightest fit. And then I usually use a little epoxy.
I'm going to put my little insert back in because the holes I'm drilling are not going to go all the way through the piece. I'm going to set the drill bit as close to the wood as I can get it where it still freely passes under. One of the things about having a drill press that I love is I can set my depth stop, so I can set it to where it's not going to go all the way through the piece, which is a great feature to have. Right here is one of the main reasons I bought a drill press before a planer or a bandsaw. I had a project where I needed repeated drill holes and they needed to all be even and all that good stuff. So you could take your fence, see I pulled my drill bit down into the piece, hold it still where I want to make my hole, move my fence up against the piece. Then I could take my stop block and move it over to the piece. So with this being set up like this, if I had like 10 pieces I needed to cut, I could go ahead and set this up on this one piece and then make all the same drill holes on all the other pieces. It'd all be the same. Then I would just move it over for the next hole, do the same thing on all the pieces. You just do that repeatedly. It really does help when you have this type of situation. And of course, once you're all set up, ready to go, turn on your drill and start making your holes. Just make sure that between each piece, you kind of blow it out, all the little chips that it makes, because those can get between your piece of material and the fence or stop block, and it'll make your holes, not where you want them.
For my 40 cal holes, I don't want to go as deep. The shell is not as long as a 223. It's shorter, and I still want some of it, showing at the top. So I'm just going to put the brad point maybe a little bit past halfway, set my drill stop, and call it good. And then I'm going to put my brad point right where I want, readjust my fence, my stop block, and again, ready for some repeated cuts.
On these last couple holes, felt like my fingers were a little close to the drill bit, so I went ahead and got a piece of scrap wood to hold it up against the fence and the stop block. Safety first, y'all.
With the holes set up now, you can put all your shells, fit in there. And quite honestly, you could leave it just like that. But I think it's kind of boring. I'm going to go ahead and put a little profile, little Roman OG profile around it, just to make it decorative. I'm going to do that on my router. Roman OG.
Setting up your router bit height is kind of personal preference. I would suggest, however, doing it a few passes, less material each time, just to avoid tear out. You're going to see a good example of that here in a second.
Right where I want it.
I set the fence up just to where it's even with the little ball bearing on the router bit.
And I'm going to go ahead and put a profile. Sorry. This will be the front, profile on the side, front, side. I leave the back alone. Just me though.
Running these small pieces, you really got to be careful and just watch right here what happens with the tear out. I've never really had any trouble with tear out on these pieces. I'm not sure what happened this day, but I did have multiple tear outs. Here you can see I'm evaluating all of them and pretty disappointed.
So as you can see in the video, not quite as planned. I had significant tear out. Partially because I'm in a hurry. One, that Roman OG bit's probably getting older and dull. Maybe I need to get it sharpened or replace it. And then I could have cut less material. I could have also done a back step. There's multiple things I could have done to keep that from happening, but due to just trying to show you the video, and this is the only piece I'm making, I'm not going to redo it. But I wanted to show you what does happen. It's a good example of tear out. And that's from going the proper direction with the router. So I was pushing against the direction instead of going with the direction, which can be dangerous. And I've got some tear out. These holes were a little close to the edge. I probably could have moved them in a little more. The front holes are a little closer to the edge than I'd like as well, but you can adjust that. So generally what I do is I make the first one like this, write all my information on it, and when I get it just where I need it, this becomes my template. Then for every other project, you can keep this in wherever you keep templates or whatever, and you can reset up your drill. You can reset up your measurements. You can set up everything. You can even write information on the back. You can write template. Everything you need will be on this instead of having a piece of paper somewhere or trying to remember it. That's just a little tip that I do. After I get done routing the profile on my pieces, I sand them down to about 120 grit. Then I add a stain, whatever stain color you like. You can leave it natural wood. You can make these out of any wood you want. Once I get them stained, I put a clear coat on all of them. After the clear coat dries, I go ahead and put all the shells in the holes using some JB Weld or some type of quick setting epoxy. And that's it. On the back, I always make sure to put my mark. Some people do, some people don't. But these are real easy.
That's it. Simple, straightforward. You can either save your used shells for this or buy some online already empty. That's what I've been doing. Haven't been shooting in a while. I'll link where I get mine from. If you like, you can go there. Y'all stay safe, have fun. Andy out.